the Yankees' first move this offseason shouldn't be acquiring Juan Soto, a mega offer to Ohtani, or even an arm overseas. It should be unloading Giancarlo Stanton packaged with whichever prospects or money necessary to make that happen. I enjoyed his peak years, but it's a wrap. So, first off, if you do feel that way, right? Why you're the Yankees. You don't package prospects just to unload money. The Yankees have money. You don't have to worry about that. That's a small market team kind of situation. I mean, my thing is, and I get it, owners don't want to like eat a bad decision. If you feel like that's the direction you want to go and they're the Yanks and no team wants to take him on, I mean, you can eat up almost all the money and then see if a team wants to take him, or you can cut the player. That stuff has happened. You know, Chris Davis eventually was cut. There's a few others. I know it's really hard to stomach for some people. I'm saying if that's the decision that you want to make, the last thing the Yankees should be doing is attaching prospects to a contract to unload a contract. That's my point.
I don't necessarily agree with that part of it, because Hal Steinbrenner has flat out said he does not want to go over a certain level of luxury tax to keep feeding these bottom feeder teams more money that he's already giving them a ton of. Pay off some of the salary or whatever, give prospects so they pay off the salary. That's a salary. It's not a salary cap, but that's a salary cap issue. And I'm all on board with the way Hal talks about that. So that part I disagree with. The part that Sheffield said about getting rid of him, I couldn't more disagree with. 2022, this guy was an all-star. Does anybody remember the injury that he had after the All-Star break to then play through and finish out his season with a 759 OPS? The same injury that he then ended up having again last year and saw him running the bases at a slower than Kratz pace. The guy was playing through things. So I don't know if they do over-unders before the season of what somebody's going to do, but I'm not getting rid of this guy. And I promise you, if he is available for a palatable price, there will be 25 other teams ready to pick him up.
Yeah, he's a game changer, and that's what I look for in an athlete. I look at guys that can change games, that are a guy that's going to put one in the seats. He's still got a really good arm as an outfielder. Is he moving around the same? No, but as you get older, that stuff does happen. But he is an absolute beast. I understand what he's saying about the money, but you're not going to package your prospects. That's number one. They got a couple guys coming up here that are going to help the club, if not help the club already. And they just need to get healthy, man. Like you said, these have to get healthy. If the team is healthy, it's a different story. So it's going to be a weird offseason. We'll see what happens, though, in Yankee land.
I don't think they should get rid of him, and I don't think they will.
Gotcha.
He hits the ball way too freaking hard, and the Yankees want to get every single person that hits the ball hard. Did he have a bad year this year? Absolutely. Sure. You switch me and Giancarlo Stanton right now, he would sit here and say, I had a bad year.
And he has a full no trade clause, which we forgot, Derek. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, he turned down the Cardinals and the Giants in December of 2017. About that. Yeah. And ended up with the Yankees.
He will be back. I don't know what you want to set.
I think he loves it there. He loves it there too. Just from seeing, hanging out with Judge and the boys. Come on.
I don't know what you want to see say his OPS is going to be next year. You set it, and I'll tell you over under. But I'm taking a lot of overs.
Okay.
805.
Over.
Okay. If you're in the mid eights, if you get in the mid eights, for the most part, it's a productive player.
After a year and a half of an under 700 OPS, he still has a career 878 OPS. And I get it, he had an MVP year. He's had 1 year over 1,000. This guy's been uber consistent at the end of the year with his numbers. I get it. He's up and down. Even the year that he won the MVP, he had like 25 home runs in like a week and a half. He was just unconscious. So I get it that you're going to be streaky. But this dude is an absolute beast. I'm saying 825 is his OPS next year.
He is
just got to be healthy. That's it. That's all.
Here's the one thing you're not thinking about, okay?
Oh.
he's about to turn 34 years old. Age is real. And when you have a body that is
I thought he was older than that, though. Sorry to interrupt you.
34, though, that's not nothing for a dude that's taken some hits. And I mean injury-wise, right? Everybody has a clock that eventually starts a decline / injury situation. I mean, you guys know you played. Not just for you guys, the guys you've been around, right? Who feel like they're Superman. How many guys you've been around who are like, oh, I'm good. I'm good for a while. I'm Superman. I'm invincible, whatever. And then it's like 32 and he's out of the league. It happens.
Oh, yeah.
It happens every freaking year. I'm just pointing that out, that there could be a situation where sometimes the body breaks down and can't recover the same way from certain injuries. How many guys do you talk to also that are in their 30s, especially, that say, yo, it's been the back, man, for years. It's been the knee.
Yeah.
It's been the right. It's something chronic that they can't kick.
It catches up.
I'm just throwing that out there. There is a chance that next year looks like this year.
Yeah, certainly.
So you think, what if I say, is he going to be closer to 825, like I said, or 750? Which one are you choosing?
750.
See, I feel like this guy, the way he works, the way he is focused on things he needs to do, and he doesn't have injuries like you just said, back, knee, ankle. It's fascial injuries. It's muscles, it's hamstrings, it's calves, that kind of thing. And the way he works will enable him to stay out there on the field. Plus, there's going to be less on him with Judge in the lineup the whole year. Obviously, it's all about staying healthy. But to me, you can't say, oh, he has to stay healthy and then disregard the fact that he played through serious injuries that were not all reported, and he still played through them to have the numbers that he had. You follow what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't need to have a completely just perfect swing to have success.
I'm cool with streakiness. Here's my thing. And I think 805 is even too low, right? We're talking 850. He's got to be an 850 plus OPS player, like 850 or higher, right? And here's why. I don't trust the outfield situation long term. He played about 30 games in the outfield this year. It's the same thing. You're getting older. You've had injuries. This is an older team that either A, needs to use that DH spot and circulate it around, or B, I mean, there's still a small portion of fans that think they're going to get Ohtani. And newsflash, he only is a DH. He's not suddenly hopping into the outfield, as far as I know. So I'm just saying, he's going to take up that spot for you, Kratz. He better fucking bring it. That's what I'm saying.
30 homers. 30 homers. Do you say Giancarlo gives you 30 homers and you're happy?
No, I'm looking at OPS. It's got to be more than just homers, because if he's never getting on base, and also, I mean, Josh Donaldson hit like 15 homers and barely played last year, right? I need a little more. Is he getting on base, right? Is there doubles pop, the whole deal? So I'm more on the OPS side. It's got to be 850 or better in my mind, and he's got to be on the field. Otherwise, it's just a mishmash. So I'm not saying get rid of him for nothing. I'm just saying I understand the complaints here from Yanks fans, and this is part of a bigger problem for them. And we can get into this for a couple minutes, because we haven't for a while. We haven't talked about this team for like a month at all.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of players right now who are coming off down years, injury-plagued years. They signed a lot of dudes that are in their mid-30s, and the talk is they got to get younger. They got to get more athletic, the whole deal, right? I feel like I've done that story with the Yanks multiple times. There was a time where I remember, in my old job, we were like, do the Yanks have 4 DHs? It happens a lot when you bring in players, then you keep them, then you spend on more vets. The mistake they made is that they didn't go after the young free agents that wanted to go there. Bryce Harper would have played for the Yanks. Machado, you can make your cases, but like, those guys were free agents at a young age. And I think that signing a player like that would have made a massive difference. They have made some weird moves in terms of their transactions, right? And also they are looking for bargains. Like, they thought they freaking ripped the Twins with how they pulled off Donaldson and IKF. And they messed up. They got them Correa, and Correa's been, up and down regular season, but look what he just did for them in the playoffs.
Yes, I understand the whole Twins thing, but and I think that's where some of the mistakes might lie, is they still believe that they got the deal in that, because based on a WAR, based on a output of the players they brought in, they actually had a positive output over what they got rid of in Gary and Gio.
But it was a money thing. It was a money thing. I'm not looking at WAR. I think it was a money thing.
But you're talking about like
that
at the beginning of the
30
season,
something million bucks. You know,
we'll check the receipts. How far did you have the Yankees going at the beginning of the season?
I had them as a wild card team.
So you had them making the playoffs.
Yeah, kind of by default. Some of those, I didn't, but yes.
Absolutely.
And hey,
but
I
I'm
didn't
saying
think
you had them at the beginning of 2022, at the beginning of 2023, the same place as you had them in 2022. Like, this team's now old because they lost, because they didn't make the playoffs? Or were they old when you were making your predictions? You know what I mean?
They were old last year.
But then why'd you pick them to make the playoffs?
Ooh.